Hello New Zealand, I'm Philip Duncan, thanks for joining us. High pressure is on the way, and if you're sick of the rain, we've got some good news for you. A mostly dry forecast for most of New Zealand for the next week. I do say most because there will be a few isolated showers, but overall, compared to the big lows we've been getting, now we've got some big highs rolling in to balance things out. Here we go. This is the animated wind map for Thursday. You can see the big high out to the west. That is building and heading our way. Low pressure you can see here in the darker colours out to the east and somewhat over the central and northern parts of the country, but that is changing as that high rolls in. So one last day of downpours and maybe a few isolated thunderstorms and hail showers, but once we get to Friday, things improve. Here's the big high and here's the low. So finally it disappears. There's still a few showers lingering around northern Hawke's Bay, Gisborne, Mahia Peninsula, those areas, but elsewhere the winds actually start to come back from the west. So after a couple of colder than average days in a few areas, you're going to warm back up again as these winds come in from Australia. So a settled end to the week and a settled start to the weekend for pretty much everybody. Sorry Southland, you do have a little bit, and it's only a little bit, of wet weather. It's coming in from the west, so it won't be a lot, but mostly around these coastal areas. You might just get a few spits, maybe a bit of patchy rain coming in for a time. Further north, mainly dry, but the sou'westers that are blowing around this high might still be a little breezy through some of these coastal areas up the west coast, Taranaki, and then in towards Auckland, those places, but it won't be very strong, it's just a little breezy. And then we go to Sunday, same story with the winds, but the showers start to fall apart around the South Island, and they also start to move a little bit further north. So Southland improves, but those showers, maybe a couple of them move up the west coast and maybe an isolated one or two over on the eastern side, coastal Otago, maybe going into some parts of Canterbury, but really that's about it. It's a dry weekend. And then we go to next week. Monday kicks off mostly dry, but here's the theme for next week. Yes, mostly dry, but we've got these afternoon isolated daily downpours. So both islands have them. You can see maybe a few around the ranges of the South Island and a couple around Waited Upper as we get to Monday. Then we get to Tuesday and it looks like Waikato might be sort of the favourite spot to get a big downpour in the afternoon. Further south it looks like the Canterbury foothills and the ranges around there, and maybe getting into coastal Otago as well. And finally Wednesday, still seeing a few more of those showers, isolated though for the most part. Most other areas and most of the main centres are dry, and as I said before, the theme for the next week actually going drier than average for this time of the year. That's even with those areas of rain and showers. Also, one last thing next Wednesday, what was Cyclone Owen, well, the remnants falling apart completely by the looks of it, and the good news is Queensland is going to get the rain left over from that storm, which they desperately need. So that is a positive coming out of that cyclone, rain coming in for dry parts of Queensland. Not so great if you're going on holiday up there on the coastal areas though. That is all from me. We'll see you again on Friday with the latest as we go in towards the weekend. And I got to say, it is really nice to be talking about not a lot after what has been a very busy past couple of months, or past few weeks really. And in fact, I said to someone just the other day, November this year was the busiest November I've ever had since running Weather Watch, and I started this in 2005. So that just gives you an idea that we've been having perhaps a little more in the way of rough weather across both islands. That's all from me. We'll see you again tomorrow.